Hold on, let us get the camera on.
You're wrong. Who's next? Y'all can just keep it going. Whoever's next is get in line and just be ready to come forward. Right?
Y'all ready to rock the house? Yeah! Let's sing for Yahweh. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Just play something. I don't know, surprise. All right, so where everybody from? We got Atlanta in the house, right? Atlanta, all right. What about Chicago? I heard there was some New Yorkers in here. New York, all right. Baltimore in the house too. Turn it up some more. We gotta praise God with this one, y'all. I need y'all to stand up. We gotta keep our spirits strong. We gotta wake up. Wake up the dead, wake up. For the time is coming. I take a look around, I see my people with the
9996.
License plate number.
Please move your vehicle.
What does it look like?
Say that number again.
What's the color of it?
It sounds like brown.
Because I might have somebody blocked in.
You know your license number? They don't know what car.
No, it's a rental. That's why I'm asking.
Is it a rental car?
Is it yellow gold Taurus or something? What color is that?
It's a Genesis.
Because I blocked somebody.
Genesis. It says the Genesis.
Looks like Elder Rivers is going to, so it may be this car.
Because I know I did block somebody.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna start singing if they don't tell me something quick. Now, Mowreh Elisha, anytime he got ready to sing, we always sing Go Down Moses. But I'm not gonna sing Go Down Moses. I'm gonna call my wife up here to sing for me instead of me singing. Even though I can sing, I'm not gonna sing. I'm gonna let her sing. So come on up here, ladies.
Start from the very beginning.
Gonna be an
What you gonna do with the fake Israelite? Always come in class, but their heart ain't right. Proverbs chapter 6, start at 16. Read Yah's word, keep your mind and heart clean. These 16 does my Yah hate. 7 an abomination, make no mistake. A proud look, a lying tongue. Hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that beats on the negative. Leaving no love for the positive. Feet racing towards adversity. A false witness speaking lies, and the Israelite is not about unity. What you gonna do with the fake Israelite? Always come to class, but their heart ain't right. In the Bible, chapter 20 in Exodus, Yahweh is talking to us. The Ten Commandments, the Ten Commandments, the Ten Commandments. And so the people of the earth can handle it. Oh Yah, we thank you every day. All the time, come rain or sunshine. Truth is, only you know what's best. Give the house of Israel the strength to pass your test. So what you gonna do with the fake Israelite? Always come to class, but their heart ain't right. When you're at home and you're all alone, shut down that TV, Facebook, and cell phone. Check in your mind. Don't check out. Seek the truth. Read and do. That's what a true Israelite is all about. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Oh, Israel, you know the deal. Get your head right. It's gonna be alright. Just keeping it real. Yahweh is watching you all the time. Nowhere to run. No, you can't hide. He sees you over there. What you doing? He sees you right here. What you saying is real. You know right from wrong. Hit the floor and start praying. Now let's contemplate. If you're gonna hate, you sealed the wrong fate, but it's never too late to concentrate on getting your mind and heart straight. Read Psalms 50 if you want to get with me. And Yah, he is 1:16 on down. He ain't playing around. He's judge, he's jury, he's the real deal. And I'm a child of Yah. Just keep it real.
All right, I think we got our next brothers from New York that want to come up. I need additional mics.
Hallelujah!
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 All glory, all praises to the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Let us all say hallelujah! Hallelujah! Okay, we came all the way here from New York City. And we got some music. We got brothers that's gonna come up and perform. So first, we got a song called Serving is King. So I'm gonna get my sister Alina up here too, bro. I got a song with Alina. And we in our hometown, so you know. Check. You got a little vibe? Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Can I get a hand clap, y'all? I know doing this song make me happy. How about you? Okay. Doing this song makes me happy. Serving the King makes me happy. I just want to be free. It's so happy. Living this life makes me happy. I'm looking to my voice scream. I don't want to go down that profane. I don't want to be no captain Spain. Giving you my heart, we can have no pain. Knowing all it makes me happy. Reading these precepts, knowing all it makes me happy. Doing this laws makes me happy. Serving my King makes me happy. All one's God makes me happy. Come on, y'all. Seeing my wife and my children makes me happy. Oh, hey, yeah, makes me happy. Who should I play? We got Psalm 27. Who should I be afraid of? I said, who should I be afraid of? Hey, you know what? Doing this song makes me happy. So happy. Doing this song makes me happy. So happy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, y'all, one more time. Doing this song makes me happy. Serving this thing makes me happy. I just want to be free, it's so happy. Living this life makes me happy. I'm looking to the rock to West Street. I don't want to go down that fountain. I don't want to be looked at this thing. Getting in my heart, you got a whole thing. Doing this all makes me happy. Serving my King makes me happy. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Praise somebody's God! What we got next, brothers? Let's play with the rest of the brothers. Hallelujah! It's a good thing to serve Yah. Sing praises to his name. Hallelujah.
Here, everything looking fine.
The next song we got is called The Mission.
Can y'all start doing that?
Shabbat shalom, family. Hallelujah! Cincinnati, Shabbat shalom. Alright. Free up time again. What we say? Yo, we dey plan on the shop to film on fire with the jar once again. When it's a drop to the boy and the girl them when I move for them. When it's a drop to the boy and the girl them it's them when they eat at the end. Just for your holiday and set up the night when they eat at the end.
I'm out with my brothers, we got to each other. We so close together, we got like no other. We down to be right, we going down to the top of the toes. So we got to get that respect. OG, so we go up, be a team prince. Check, that's what they gonna expect. I'm on a mission from the shit out of Israel. I'm treating them like they respect. They ain't gonna lead up the people, don't lead up the equals. We don't so improve, they not gonna believe we struggling, starting and hustling. We need to get together before we start hustling. You need to fight, man. Or you gonna be fighting, man. I'm gonna put you on fire with the jar once again. When you got back to the boy, you got back to the when it's a jar to the boy, it's them when they eat at the end. Don't for your body and set you to the ground. Israel, 12 tribes, one nation, under God. The black devotion is emotion. The greatest son will be sanctified. Wait. The sound of salvation, you hear that? We the whistleblowers bringing feedback. We've been capping too long, we can bear that. Yeah, still high, even though so. Bringing up the drive, low, we were so. These are probably the exclusive for the slow blow. Introducing close bars, that's a no-no. We not forsaken for good, but for breaking y'all low. We was chose to the low. It's a lion, the praise, his name is removed. Today we was people to do. Motivated for the life of the day. When everybody showing y'all only one way. And those places calling the name of Elohim. But we can see to the top, we can jump. When it's a dog to the road, they got that way that moves. When it's a dog to the way, and the lion is them for the evening. Hey, don't free up all in the center to nod for the evening. I just can't take it. It's just really basic. It's a run around and make it fake it.
joy for the world and the earth, we in Jerusalem. What is the joy for the lion and the lion is good for the heat and the dead. Just for the body of the prisoners, for the heat and the dead. Just for the body of the prisoners, for the heat and the dead. Just for the body of the prisoners, for the heat and the dead. Just for the mission for the month I am with the Jawas. What is the joy for the world and the earth, we in Jerusalem. What is the joy for the lion and the lion is good for the heat and the dead. Just for the body of the prisoners, for the heat and the dead. The lion was no bird. All descendants of the earth in this whole world so bitter. When we the only one you like we girl, so we shine brighter than a beautiful bird. Israel bless we are born with her, so we can't stand away from sin. We are monsters who we consider. His image and likeness is who we can run. So we pass on to one every young kid. On the first second month you will social world. When we get me lifted up and set up on this first. Your way perfect in these selfish hands. I said living in this whole world. I said living in this whole world. In who you bless no man can curse. In who you curse no man can reverse. Try this out living in this whole world. Try this out living in this whole world. Bless no man can curse. In who you bless no one can curse. Don't want to be put out on the secret heart and the move over. But the Almighty bless how we put your bird. I don't want the need to reverse the curve. Living in this cold world, trapped inside this cold world. Who ya bless no one can prove. Who ya curse no one can reverse. I said living in this cold world. I said living in this cold world. And who ya bless no one can curse. And who ya curse no one can reverse. Trapped inside living in this cold world. Trapped inside living in this cold world. Who ya bless no one can curse. Too much wicked in this cold world, but I stand fast in the eyes. One time I say we got to get ya. Them doctors from the past had to mix up. You say worship, you crazy. You the right, me 28 and 23. We have been through big boys in the Navy. Yeah, praise to the most high from the Savior. Every time I open a book, it's still a baby. Israelites from this walk on, I'm feeling wavy. 10 toes down, I'm a sucker, I'm a raven. As long as I'm living in something, they can't enslave me. Living in this world, living in this world. And who y'all bless no one can. I said, drop this out, living in this cold world. Drop this out, living in this cold world. No one can trust. Who y'all? Who y'all? Warrior expert from the land of Shalom, from the land of birth. When you know Abraham is coming from Sudan. Yes, I could create you up the lion was of birth. All descendants of Eden. Of Eden. Hey, you, it's a night. Warrior nation. Remember that 218 warriors. You know my champion. Like the time of what? It's like the time of Bala, indeed. Bala. Somebody fears that when I try to curse me, and then put curse me. Now who did get from the side? Who did get from the side? Yeah, bless. Oh, praise somebody God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Give my brothers a good round of applause. And we also got to find out where that music is at. So we can get copies of that music.
It's coming out. We about to release it.
Praise Almighty Yah. Alright, do we have any other other performers before we get back to our show? No, no worries. Sean McKean, come on forward. Then Shara, if you want to prepare yourself, we're going to get you up here. Brother Nashan. As y'all can see, all the talent that we have in Israel. And I'm sure as many of you all that's got talent out there as well, that we can have some of these professional brothers and sisters to mentor you all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That was awesome, man. Praise Almighty God. Man, a whole different type of vibe I ain't never heard before. That was good, man. Praise God.
Shalom. Again, I can see everybody's faces. We actually got a new song for y'all. Yeah. We ain't never performed it yet, but I'm gonna warm y'all up with something y'all already know. So, Mother Up should be track 3.
Sing a new song to Yah.
And we gotta stay strong, right? Let's stay strong.
You know this song? Stand up and stand up.
We always good. Yeah.
Hey. It's a ongoing mission telling my people we don't have long. Try not to walk it wrong. Tell my brothers to stay strong. Hey, because I'm all about my YAH'S when I stand alone. Hey, because I stress over things I can't control. Hey, and my strength they give me hope. Is he right by my side? That's something I don't hope. That's something that I know. So I have to write this. They say young Israel no vote. When it's not in my control, I see my people losing hope. They composing my composure so bold. Yahweh's coming, it will be love. Yeah, that's right, I feel it in my soul. And this flow will make them run. Yo, this flow don't sound too fun. All that Christian, I'm so sick that make my ears go numb. Hey, I just need a break. I just need to break it down, cause they try to break us down and make lose lives, but my people will to stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Hey, walking in the spirit of God. Hey, with my people here, walking in the spirit of God. Hey, with my people here, walking in the spirit of God. Hey, with my people, with my people, with my here. It's a ongoing mission telling my people we don't have long. Try not to walk it wrong till my brothers still stay strong. Hey, because I'm all about my YAH'S even when I stand alone. My problems big and they Goliath. I need guidance from the highest. Pressure on my people like the answer is surprising. Who's the pilot? Everybody's indecisive. Yeah. Shout out to my people. Keep these words in these lives. Taking them to stay strong. Yeah. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. Stay strong, stay strong. Hey, walking in the spirit of God. Hey, with my people here, walking in the spirit of God. Hey, with my people here, walking in the spirit of God. With my people, with my for me. Pause that for me really quick.
Zerubbabel announced his wife. I want to announce my beautiful wife and family too. I love you, baby.
Homeland. All right, King. Start it off. Are we start? Yeah.
This world's unique time, knowledge increase. Break away from traditions, cause what those plantations taught us to be Christians. YisraEL is what's concerned before we turn. If Yah be the king, then him you serve. This jealousy, nothing you experience in this earth. War on the front line with words. I find them scriptures that's written. Open my eyes and the heart to see what's hidden in wondrous things. X-ray my range, got much determination, never fade. It's something named. I know my enemies hate it. The youngin' dreams of the nightmare's true. Plotting on the resolute, cause I see no change in these future days, bro. I refuse to continue to sway. To move forward, and we're going to come back. We're going to move forward and we're going to come back. Whoever else did not get a chance to perform, and you know who, if y'all see her here towards the door, y'all better lock her down.
Lock the door!
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
If y'all see Lena get up towards that door, y'all better hold her down. Hallelujah. Praise ObediYAH. And we also have some more music coming from Mowreh IshYAH choir with this great elder right here. And I'm going to tell y'all, they brought the house down earlier. Y'all missed a real good treat, but y'all are going to hear them in just a few minutes here. Next up, is Nashan prepared? Okay, so next up, what we want to do really quick is we want to have and I know we somewhat a little bit out of sync, okay? Y'all got to forgive me. It ain't completely my fault as a moderator. I'm trying to deal with Israel and 1,000 different personalities, all right? 999 of them which are my own. In any event, I like that, right? Okay, you want to do the, you want to pull that back? Okay, presentation. Okay. All right, so we're going to give a quick presentation, and what this presentation is, there's a group called the One Nation Calendar Coalition, and me and some of the individuals from the house, and I want y'all to just bear with us. We have a presentation we want to give you all, and our presentation is not necessarily to give you our point of view on the calendar. But what our presentation is to show you, because what we're going to do is we're going to start coming together on some of these different things. We got different varieties upstairs, please. Hello, brother. Upstairs. Okay. They should here. We just want to ask everybody upstairs and everybody in the building to understand that service has started back. Is that all right? They're still in here. Manuel, can you let them know the service started back, and we want everybody to be just as if they were down here. Thank you. Hallelujah. Praise ObediYAH. So what we want to do is we want to pull up our presentation. And what this presentation is to show you all is this is something that we had planned to give. We didn't know that there were going to be a lot of different diverse. You need something? Oh, anyway. We didn't know that there were going to be as many diverse groups here. We had already planned to do this, but what we want to demonstrate here, what it is our goal to demonstrate, is not necessarily to give you all a specific point of view on the calendar, but the main goal is for us to kind of show you all, number one, that we have been a diverse group of individuals. Some who believe in that the Sabbath starts when the daylight starts, which is myself, and some believe that the Sabbath begins when it's dark on Friday evening. So what we want to display to you all is that we have been working together. And we have come together on some common grounds, despite even some of our disagreements. And I think that is an example group within inside of Israel of how we want to start working together. Although we have differences, we can still move forward. Because there's a million other things to do till we can get done, but we got 5 things that we disagree with. So we let the 5 things get in the way of the other million things we can be doing. Are y'all with me? Yeah. So we just want to show you, I'll give you all a presentation of, and now Sean's going to pretty much lead the presentation. All right. It'll be quick.
Yeah, it's not a long presentation. Shalom again, everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Shalom again, everyone. I'm not YisraEL from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm affiliated with the B'nai Zakin congregation there in Baltimore. But today I'm here on behalf of the One Nation Calendar Coalition, which is, as the Mowreh Yoel pointed out, one of the oldest collaborations in Israel today. And that's our website, www.onenationcalendarcoalition.org. And that's what happened when you wait too long to get your website. We couldn't get ONCC, so we ended up with a long name like that. But we go to the next slide. And you do have to kind of forgive me. The person that was going to do the presentation couldn't make it because of health issues. You might know Mowreh Yoel from North Carolina. So our prayers also with him. So our mission statement, the mission of the One Nation Calendar Coalition is to provide a culturally sound, Torah-based calendar that enables Israelites to observe the appointed times of the Most High in their correct seasons. And so there's not really too much needs to be explained about that. Our mission is pretty much lays out exactly what we do. We try to look into the Torah to find out what thus said Yah about keeping the appointed seasons. And that's where we get the way we do things.
And one comment that I wanted to add to that is that I know that everybody think that they have the right calendar. So this is one of the issues that we're going to try to take on and resolve and see if we can sit down and organize smaller groups to start having these conversations. We don't want to have them amongst the congregation because we want the leadership to sit down and just come together. We don't want any egos in the way. So we want to just, number one, and Mowreh IshYAH, he's got some information that he's got as well. We're going to start bringing this information together. We're going to just allow each other to just understand the person's point of view.
All right, yeah, you go to the next slide, please. All right, so what I'm about to do is just to show a presentation that was put together by Mowreh IshYAH on the Abib search. That we did this past spring, and that we've been doing for the past few years. And that's where we've sent 2 representatives over into the land to look for barley in the Abib state. You can go to the next slide. Let's see, this was just a message that was on the presentation. You can go to the next slide. So, I'm sorry, go back. Go back one slide. Right, okay, so yes, the 2 representatives this year were Mowreh IshYAH and Kohen Zadok. They went as representatives, and this is their official report that they made for the Calendar Coalition. Okay, you go to the next slide. So they arrived on March 14th, and they went to the Mowreh. And
excuse me, Sean, I just want to find out, are we having children's class today? I don't think, are we having children's class today, this afternoon? No, she is here, but I just want to make sure we do everything organized here. We don't just want children running off. So I just want to make sure, because this will be all children. And I don't know if we prepared for that, so I just don't want a few children from our classes going and everybody else staying. So the question is, are we having children's class today?
Do they want to have children's class?
Do children want to have a separate class this afternoon? If not, do the children wish to remain with them?
Let them go. If they want to go, y'all ready? Yeah. Go ahead, go.
All right, children, upstairs. Yeah, upstairs. Sorry, not Sean, going on.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Right, and they were graciously hosted by members of the Kingdom of Yah. Now, in talking about unity and gathering and collaboration.
Sorry, one other thing, brother. Do we have another teacher to go up to assist? We have a lot of children.
Yeah, I'm going up.
All right, keep order. Yeah, we want to allow them to get upstairs first, so we won't keep getting interrupted. All right. Are we ready? Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, yeah, so as I said, they were hosted by members of the Kingdom of Yah. And in our talks about collaborating, we said that sometimes we might have to put aside differences. And as you know, there are some major differences in the Kingdom of Yah and what a lot of us understand. But as you see, we were able to come together for this one purpose of trying to do the calendar and figure out the appointed times of the Most High in its correct seasons. So they were hosted by their guest representative, Pope Amalaya. They had about a 90-minute discussion where they explained their perspective of the Hebraic calendar, they provided to the One Nation Calendar Coalition representatives their perspective, and then the ONCC did in return. The next slide, please. Okay, this gentleman, I can't recall his name. Bruce Brill. It's right there. They went out to meet a man named Bruce Brill. And he was a man that had agreed to escort around our representatives as well as some members of the KOY, and kind of he was more of an expert in agricultural understanding. So he went out and showed them the grain, and explained things about the stages that they were in. So they met him. He lived about 6 to 8 miles outside of Jerusalem in a town called Naphthtali. Then they began to go around various fields that he knew where barley grew, either on farms or wild. Barley is a plant that can grow wild. And I remember seeing a video before where he said you have to check the various fields, because a lot of things could cause the plant, like if barley was growing close to a road, it could sprout a lot sooner than barley that was back in the hill and would be developing naturally. So they had to go around to several fields to look for barley. They found no significant abib barley. So in other words, abib is several things, but at its base meaning in Hebrew, abib means green ears or new shoots. So what they were looking for is barley in the new shoot stage of their growth. And so they didn't find any in that area. They traveled on, and then they did find some patches of barley on the side of the road, which were not quite abib. So they decided to go back out and look again on the first day, Yom Rishon. Next slide, please. So the next day, they met with Mowreh Napthtali. He's a resident with the KOI, if I'm not mistaken. That's why I said you have to apologize. The person that was going to do this isn't here. They were actually training him on some of the information that they've learned, because evidently he was interested in learning about the calendar. So, like I said, there's some major differences in our understanding of the Torah and other aspects of the law. But as you see, understanding how important it is to keep the Almighty's laws in its appointed seasons, they were able to get together. So they went out and they went to a Bedouin community. So they had a chance to meet some people that are considered of the Bedouin community, and they met concerning having other areas in the land to search for abib barley, and which has turned out they had little knowledge of, as well as using other areas of Israel to sight the moon. But they were willing to work with us on the sightings, and they expressed appreciation for the support and knowledge that was exchanged. So they visited that city, and unfortunately they didn't find any barley in that field at all, only wheat. So wheat wouldn't do, because wheat reaches the abib stage much later. What they're looking for is a plant that is a grain that the grain that would sprout the earliest in the season, and wheat we know sprouts a lot later in the spring. You can go to the next page. And then so finally they left there and went towards Gaza, where they stopped in several fields along the way. And then when they headed towards a town called Naphthtali, and on the way there they found abib barley on both sides of the road in at least 3 fields. And like I said, when you find it in the new shoot, it would be not quite full grown. You could tell that the kernels are still undeveloped, but when you pick off the kernel and squeeze it, a little liquid will come out. And so that's what he's demonstrating right there. We can go to the next slide. So then they headed back to the Mowreh. So at this point, I think they had decided that they had found enough barley in abib that where if the next new moon could be declared the beginning of the year. So they went and spoke with Sikh Emmanuel, who gave them a warm welcome and support for their presence and for the purpose of their visit. Then they met with Kohen YisraEL, who expressed his support also in trying to help us, the Kingdom of YAH and the One Nation Calendar Coalition, to get on the same page with calendar. So this this shows a level of humility, because like I said, we all know the Kingdom of YAH, and we all know what our understanding is, and lots of times that has been a major impediment towards any kind of collaboration. But we're getting to see here that even with that extreme difference of opinion, that we still found some things that we know were important, and that we could pool our knowledge together to help each other on. And like I said, maybe let the Almighty just worry about the other part. So at this meeting, it looks like the Kohen's adult. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that said you did a presentation. Hold on 1 second. Kohen's adults continue presence. Oh, I see it. The Mowreh that was speaking just expressed their, like I said, their gratitude for what we were doing and all giving them the opportunity to work in it. And so that was basically it. So, I'm sorry. And then finally, they met another brother there, Yoel Halevi of Hebrew in Israel on Facebook. And they showed, and a man, Rebecca Biden, and they showed significant evidence of our beef barley in many of the same areas we visited. So as I said, they were able to locate enough our beef barley to proclaim the new year at the next new moon. And let's see what the next slide is. Okay, the next day was the Shabbat. That's actually a video, but we don't have time to look at it. We can go to the next slide. Okay. All right. So, and once again, they were able to find some more Abib barley. So this was the day that they were expecting to see the new moon, and so they did sight the new moon, and they got reports in from these various people at various times on that day. And they also met a young brother there from Chicago named Don, who made a presentation on his idea of the Enochian calendar. And so after hearing that, we decided that's something else that we need to have some dialogue on. So and as you see, if you maintain a humble attitude and an open mind, you can get people to come together and bring you information lots of times. And that's when the unity and the collaboration can start. So I think that's the last slide. Okay, they just began the journey back. And there's just some notes there that next year they're going to try to do a search in the Jordan Valley, have more dialogue with certain people there, and with also more talks with the Minister of Agriculture for the Kingdom of YAH. So I just wanted to show that it is possible to cross vast differences of opinions, to come together on things that we do understand are important in YisraEL.
And another reason we wanted to bring that forth is because we ask for contributions from many people. We do fundraisers, and we wanted to show you where that work is going and where those efforts are going. And also, we got the website, OneNationCalendarCoalition.org, and this could be a good starting place for us to come together with some people who have some other diverse views and just sit down having conversations. You know, so praise Almighty Yah. Did I leave anything else out? Huh? It's the Sabbath, brother. I won't go down, but I know you're joking. Anything else? We also have a couple other members. It's Sister Sharon, if you want to raise your hand or stand. She's also a part of it. Sister Tamar, Sarah Aharon. And we also have people from many other different cities and states. There was a list I thought we were going to bring up. Did any of you all? Sarah Rabah? Praise my Yah. So with that being said, we just wanted to show you all that it is possible for us to come together, and we plan to use this group as a model on how we can come together and start having discussions around things that we either, number one, don't agree on, or things that we need to sit down and discuss and come to a common understanding. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. With that being said, we're going to move right along, and we're going to call up the next elder, and that elder is Elder Sar Rabah. This elder has been in Israel for many years, long time. I can't even tell the number of years, but he's supported us for many years as well. And the brother has a wealth of knowledge, so he's got some things that he wants to share with you that he has an insight. Hallelujah! 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 Come on now. I got more strength than that. Hallelujah! 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 That's it now. Praise this great King. Because we have the greatest. There is no comparison. There is
is no liking unto Yah. Giving all praises and honor foremost to the Most High, thanking Him for my life, for each and every person that is here, for their lives. The Most High, seeing that all of you have arrived safely, we thank Yah for that. And we ask Yah that He will return you back home safely. Today I'd like to pretty much continue from what I spoke last night. For those who were not here last night, I'm going to do a little short recap. But first and foremost, YisraEL, I want to talk to you today. I really want to talk to you today. Something's on my mind. Can I talk with you today? Because we got to get down. We are not just here to listen to what I got to say. We are here to collaborate and to do some work together. Some deep work together. We've been messing with some stuff for a long time. And the stuff stinks. You know how it is when you're dealing with dog poop or whatever poop? And it smells. But you know what we do. We put some cologne on it. We put something to make it smell good. Then we shove it aside. You know what I mean? We move it aside and expect that this won't smell. But at the end of the day, what happens? It smells. Smell bad. And you know what? We've been doing this over the years. We've been moving this stuff back and forth from generation to generation, and it's gotten worse because it don't get any better. So somewhere along the line, we got to address this. Either we're going to clean this stuff up and get it out, or we're just going to have to continue smelling this stink. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. We've had so many speakers, and I want to thank the House of YisraEL for even giving me the ability to speak today. Thanking all the Mowrehs and all the leaderships that have spoken, because I'm not going to rehash these scriptures. They ain't said enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically talk to you. Let me divert for a second. Because we're dealing with some stuff that has accumulated over the years. We're dealing with adversarial forces that many of you may not be familiar with. The adversarial forces that we're dealing with is older than us in your lifetime. And if you're not familiar with your adversary, then you're in trouble. Because they always got to step on you. Now, you've heard the teachers speak what you need. What is the personality, what you need in order to go before the Most High. But there's a key ingredient here. And as I mentioned last night, you know, you can have a bicycle and look at the bicycle. But the bicycle, you know, you can turn around, go to sleep, wake up, and look at the bicycle. But the bicycle ain't going to do nothing. It's just going to sit there. The only change that bike, what's going to happen to that bicycle is when you do something to the bicycle. You got to get on the bicycle and ride it. Just just like if you had a car. You bought a nice car, you know, you went to the dealership or whatever, and you looked at the car and it looked so good. But the car ain't going to do nothing. It's going to sit there right on the lot until you do something. You got to take a key and put it in the ignition and start the car up. Well, YisraEL, these prophetic prophecies, many of the prophetic prophecies that were mentioned today, none of them is going to happen. It's not going to go anywhere. Many of our brothers and sisters have transpired and nothing has happened. Why? The Creator tries and He keeps trying us. He's calling us. Can you hear Him? Listen. He's telling us the instructions, but we're not doing it. The Creator said to return. When we read the 30th chapter of Deuteronomy, He said return. When we read the 2nd chapter of Chronicles, Melech David made a prayer. And in the prayer, he inquired of the Most High that if my people, YisraEL, find themselves scattered in the places of their enemies, would you hear their prayer? And if they return, so there's a key ingredient, is to return to Yah. Now, that's where I left off last night. Today, I want to get into how we do this. Return. Because if we don't return, back to the Most High, as He stated, He gave us the orders, the instructions, then we are going to continue to spiral over and over again. We're going to continue having unity Shabbats, talking, and nothing happening. The only way we're going to stop this is now to return back to Yah, to seek out His face. You know, we have had brothers and sisters who have made that attempt and have made that move to return, but collectively. And I have to give the brothers and sisters who did do that. Those who in the years past made that move to try to seek out Yah and seek out His face and repent. But we as a people have not done this collectively. When we came here on the slave ships, we did not come separately. We did not come independently. We came here collectively. And it's our job to return back collectively. Let me divert for a second. How many, does anyone here know? Because when we return, we got to digress back for a little while. We got to go back into the past to see what we're dealing with right here. Many of y'all haven't, especially those who are under 20 years old, probably don't know a lot of the past unless you're really astute and you really did your studies. But the foundation of what we're dealing with is ancient. Let's get a scenario of this here. How many people, anybody in here, let me ask a question. Anybody in here know what's the first colony here of America? What's the name of the first colony of America? Just throw that out there. Anybody know? Can you say it louder? Jamestown, Virginia was the first colony of America. Do you know that in 2007 there was a celebration? Yes. See, you have to watch and listen closely to what is going on. In 2007, there was a celebration for 400 years from 1607 to 2007, and it was celebrated by the Gentiles. Now, why did they celebrate 400 years? What was the purpose of that? That had never been done before. They had bicentennial, 200 years, but they never had a celebration for 400 years. Many of us, it passed over our head what was going on. And the celebration was where? Jamestown. So they were confirming. Now you know that the Gentiles keep a good record. Because on that slave ship, they knew who they came and got. We were asleep. So the Most High caused them to keep account. Time when we were asleep. So in 1607, they were celebrating in 2007 for 400 years. That was a sign. Because why 400 years? Why would they celebrate something for fun? Why couldn't it be 500 years? Why couldn't it be 250 years? It was for 400 years. So, what does that mean? I prepared a pamphlet, and for those after the service, you can, hopefully I'll put some out there so that you can have it. I'm going to read a little bit from it. The so-called African-American black man, Negro, the real Hebrew Israelites, was brought to America in bondage 400 years ago. Are there any records that support Hebrew Israelites coming before 400 years? It sure does. Yes, it does. Yep, of course. There were trips that we came here 100 years prior to that time. So there are supporting evidence that we came prior to the 400 years. However, the slave ships that brought the Hebrew Israelites to America in the year 1619 to Jamestown, Virginia, was for one purpose. And that was, the purpose was to institutionalize slavery. This is where we're under now. We are all victims, and we are the result of institutionalized slavery. What is institutionalized slavery? England. This is the one, these are the slave masters that brought us over here. Their strategy of slavery different from the other Euro-colonial powers. They offered no indentured rights to Hebrew Israelite slaves. So prior to 1619, if there was servants, they were offered redemption rights. That was even according to our law. That if you found, one found themselves in need, and they had to sell themselves into slavery to pay off a debt that their family members or someone else could come and buy them out. However, in this type of institutionalized slavery, which started in 1619, because that's when they came and got us. They offered no indentured rights to Hebrew Israelite slaves. So this was separate. We're not talking about the brothers and sisters who came prior to 1619. We're talking about this time on, because this was the result of the curse. And their method, their methodology was to institutionalize us to be slaves. They were to remain slaves along with their children and future descendants forever. I'm talking to you now. See, they're trying to hem everything out so that you don't get out of this. Their purpose is to keep you, your children, and your children's children. Our mothers and fathers went down to that grave. You seen, or if you knew, the hardship that they went through.
You want to be an American.
You seen the changes, the spiritual, the mental, and the physical changes that they went through. This was prophesied by the Most High, of course, in 28th chapter of Deuteronomy, where the Most High said that no man shall redeem you. No one will buy you from out of here. So, money can't get you out of here. You can take trips. Some of us have the ability to get on the plane and take the trip, but you better be back at the stated point that they tell you.
They're going to bring you back.
You see? That's to let you know that they still own you.
That's right.
You go past that time and they'll come and find you.
That's right.
What did the Most High say about 400 years? That's what we want to get into.
That's right. 34th generation.
In Genesis, the 15th chapter, 13th verse.
34th generation, not this one.
Then the Most High said to Abraham, know for certain that your descendants, which is the Hebrew Israelites, will be strangers in a country they're not their own. And they will be enslaved and mistreated for 400 years. Now, some say that this 400 years in Genesis, the 15:13, was the prophecy of the Hebrew Israelites in Egypt. That's what some say. Which has already happened. So that, many of us claiming that 400 years already happened already. Not so. In Genesis, the 15th chapter to the 18th chapter, the 15th chapter, 18th verse, the Most High made a covenant with Abraham and said to your descendants, I gave this land from the river of Egypt. You got to read closely. I gave this land from the river of Egypt, that's the Nile River, to the river of Euphrates. Today that's known as Iraq. That's the boundary that the Creator had already given the descendants of Abraham. Now at this time, Abraham didn't have no children. This was the seed, and this was the inheritance that his seed would have. From the boundaries was from the river of Egypt, which is the Nile River, to the river of the Euphrates. Now, a lot of things happen on the Nile River. Wasn't it that Moshe turned the Nile River to blood? Yeah. But the Most High gave that's the boundary. According to the Most High, the land from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates, Iraq, was given to the Hebrew Israelites as an inheritance. Therefore, the 400 years enslavement recorded in Genesis 15 and 13 could not be the same captivity that took place during that 430 years in Egypt, which is stated in Exodus 12 and 40. Now the Creator knows the difference between 400 years and 430 years. So we telling the Most High, you miscounted, y'all. You don't know what you're talking about. Now he's telling our ancestor Nabi Abraham that it's 400 years, but yet in Exodus it said that we was in Egypt 430 years.
Not as captives.
So something doesn't add up right. And plus the boundary in which we were given, these were to our descendants. We were given from the Nile River to the Euphrates. However, the Most High said that they would be sent to a land not their own. So that boundaries, whatever the place we go, we were supposed to be sent to, it couldn't be within those boundaries. From the Nile River to the Euphrates. So that means that we had to be sent somewhere else. And that unknown land is North America. Now, what happens in 2019? According to Deuteronomy 30 and 1 and 3, I'm not going to go back over because we had already read it already. 2 Chronicles 6 and 36, you can read that in your time. Spare time. Jeremiah the 30th chapter. Jeremiah 31st chapter. Many Hebrew Israelites will return because it speaks about the return. Those prophecies speak about the return. But now, it says here, Israelites will return to the place where institutionalized slavery began in North America. And the last stop was the transatlantic slave trade, the Middle Passage, that started 400 years ago from Africa throughout the Caribbean, South America to North America. That place, that last stop on the transatlantic slave trade was Jamestown, Virginia, where the real Israelites were brought to the north in August of 1619. You do the math. From 1619 to 2019 is 400 years. We ain't got much time, family. In case you don't know, we ain't got much time. Because next year is 2019. Now, the Most High is blessed. The Most High has blessed each and every one of us to make a change. Many of our brothers and sisters that we have known in the past are not here today. They're gone. Many of our leaders that we have known that have been staunch and strong are not here today. But you are. You are here today. And the Most High only deals with the living and not the dead. You have a chance to make a change. You are the change. However, I must warn you, if you choose not to return back to YAH, if you choose not to repent, cry out, ask for forgiveness, then you will allow this cycle to continue on and on. And you know what? Our young brothers and sisters here, because many of us got some miles on us, especially those who have been here for a little while. We ain't got much time left. Okay? So we can stress it hard. But guess what? If we don't do it, Guess who the job is to do the job? It's going to be passed down to you young brothers and sisters that are here today. We have a chance to stop it right here. Address it. Address this beast. Because, see, this beast decided to change and move the location. It decided to take up shop in another land called North America. And we were the ones that helped to build it. Blood, tears, sweat. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay and remain as homeborn slaves and obey the slave master and continue to look at each other? What we going to do? Praying to Yah, what we going to do? When he told us what the instructions are, he's very clear. Return to me. 400 years. That's next year. Let us make that decision. Hopefully, each and every one of you will make the right decision. We can't force nobody to do nothing. Yah never forced us to do nothing. You have to do it on your free will. That's what he wants. Your free will. But my brothers and sisters, I hope you all make the right choice. And be there next year. 400 years. Jamestown, Virginia. Right at the shores where we came on a slave ship. And there we're going to have a collective service. Focusing just on repenting, crying out, asking the Most High to receive us back again, as is stated in Deuteronomy 30th chapter and 2nd chapter of Chronicles, 7th chapter. I bid you well, my brothers and sisters. May the Most High continue to be with each and every one of you and give you the strength and cause you to make the right decision. All praises and honor belong to him forever. Hallelujah! 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 Hallelujah!
Give the elder another round of applause, please. And who has those pamphlets that he's going to pass out? We did ask the leadership to bring forth any things that they're doing, any projects they're working on, so that we can try to collaborate with them, support one another, and just get more understanding. Perhaps we might have something to inject to help the brother out, and we might be able to embark on that journey with him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This next brother I want to call up is a good brother of mine from Arkansas. This brother, I met him probably around 5-6 years ago, and ever since then, me and this brother have been, we often co-host conferences down in Tennessee with Elder Yakira, who was not able to be here with us today. The elders send her love to everyone and want everybody to know that. So at this time, I'm going to call my good brother here. He's got a wealth of knowledge and a beautiful family that he brought with him, and I'm sure he'll introduce him when he comes up. I generally have his wife introduce him for him, but I forgot. So plus we're running short on time, so we're just going to ask him to come forward and deliver the word of Yah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Brother Mowreh IshYAH from Arkansas. Thank you.
Shalom, shalom. You may be seated. I'd just like to thank the Creator for giving me this opportunity to stand before the house of Israel. You know, it's always a blessing to come here. And I heard so many good things that were said today. A little bit about myself. I'm a father of 6 sons and 2 daughters. My wife, she's back there somewhere, I can't see her. Oh, she's back. I can't see you here. She's back there. I've been married almost 30 years. So I'm a little older, but some people may think. I'm a lot older, but some people think I lose count how many grandchildren I have. You know, as you get older, you do things like that, you forget. But, I think I have like 8 or 9 grandchildren. 4 of my children don't have children, so they let you know the other 4, they popping them out. They being fruitful, as the Creator said. One thing I like to do is stay in my lane, and one of the things that I like to talk about is relationships. And the reason I like to talk about relationships and dealing with a man and a woman and a husband and wife relationship, because I think that's one of the main things I see in the house of Israel that's lacking. And that's the relationship between the man and the woman. And when I mean by man, I'm talking about a husband and wife. I don't believe in girlfriend, boyfriend, all that. You know, the Shirley story, which I remember when I first met my wife, and I hadn't first met her, but I took her to see my great-grandmother. And, you know, one thing about older people from the South, they speak their mind. You know, they don't tell it like it is. So she told my wife, and I remind her, she was born in 1911. So she lived long to see me, I'm her great-grandson, and I had I had children. So the Most High blessed her to live a long life. But she shared my wife, you know, I'm sitting there, and she said, let me tell you something now. Don't let no man make no big woman out of you. Now, I'm her great-grandson. I'm listening. She talking to my wife. You know. I'm like, man, you're supposed to be on my side. You know? But the thing about it, the reason I like the elder women in the South, you know, they didn't care if you was their blood, they don't tell the truth. And one thing I think that a lot of elder people not doing today is not telling the truth when it comes to these relationships. You know, in the book of Genesis, let me look at something real quick. One thing I learned, the choices that you make determines the life you live. A lot of people, they're in situations, male and female, because of the choices they made. You know, I hate to, I don't like to hear women talk about men. He ain't no good. But that's the choice you made. Learn how to accept the choice you made. Next time, make better choices. Instead, what do you see a lot of women do? They talk about it. They talk about the children falling from the children, and vice versa. But the thing about it is, who made that choice? Huh? Most of the time, the things that people are going through, they create their problem for themselves. By making what? Bad choices. They always told me that opposite attract. You should be with, but I say this, you don't want nobody opposite of you. Opposite means opposition. I don't smoke, and I ain't gonna have no woman in my house smoking. I don't get drunk, so you ain't gonna be in my house getting drunk. I don't run the streets, so you ain't finna run the streets. You know, I was raised by men that were men, and I teach my son the same thing. Lay the foundation down from the beginning. Let a woman know where you stand from the beginning. So that she can make a choice whether she want to be with you or not. See, you start from the beginning and let her know what you expect, and vice versa. She lets you know what she expects. Come clean. You know, my wife let me know what she expects, and I let her know what I expect. We both came to agreements. Well, I can deal with that. Vice versa. Because the thing about it is, you want to be honest with people. You don't want to start out one way, and then 6 months down the line, you want to change it up, the plan, and you expect her to go along with it. She would say, well, hold up, this ain't what we said in the beginning. This is not the way it started out. You know one thing? In Genesis, this is what the Most High said. When the Most High told Genesis 2 and 24, look at it. Let's look at this. Genesis 2 and 24 for a minute. Marriage is a beautiful thing.
It really is.
And I don't understand why Israel can't get it right. We have a law that do not prostitute the what? The daughters of Israel. Now, if you know you with a relationship, what? Let me see how I'm gonna phrase this. Now, you know if you're in a relationship with a female, with a woman, and you have no intention on making her your wife, what are you doing then? Huh? You have no intention on making that woman your wife. What do you think you're doing? Now, I remember one time this young guy came to talk to my youngest daughter. I ain't say nothing to him, you know. And I knew he wasn't no good. See, I'm a person, I'm from the South. I read spirits. See, I let you do all the talking. And as you talking on people, close attention to everything you say. Because I know a snake gonna reveal itself if you listen. You can find out anything about a person if you got a good ear and listen. See, you're gonna hide and fool people that don't have the gift that the Most High gave them to listen. Sometimes it's good to be quiet. So he came to my house, he wanted to talk to my daughter. And I ain't say nothing. I got 6 sons, so I don't worry about no drama. You ask people, I don't have no problem. You know, I don't have no problem with nobody. All the young folks, the so-called gang, whatever, I knew them, they know my sons. You can be the baddest person out there, they gonna call me, how you doing, Mr. James? I said, I'm doing all right. I come out the military. I'm sharing some about myself. I spent a lot of years in the military. I spent a lot of years in the woods, training to do one thing and one thing only. And I'm not proud of that. And that was to kill. You know, and but I thank y'all that I never was put in a situation I had to take anybody's life. So I thank y'all for that. But I do thank y'all for the training I got. I know how to survive. No matter what situation I'm in, I can survive. I can survive in the woods. I can survive and be okay if I'm in the house. I can survive and be okay if I'm in the tent. You know, I don't allow material things to dictate my emotions. You know, some of the things I said, to go back to what I was saying, the young man came to my house, he wanted to talk to my daughter. I didn't say nothing. When he left, I told my daughter, now let me tell you something, he can't come back to his house no more. And he never did. I said, what you do is, you put him before the Most High to create him. There was a young man, he's not from Arkansas, but he's from Georgia. He was serving the Most High. Him and my daughter got married. When they get, I think last year, 2 years ago. If you be patient and wait, y'all get somebody that's gonna be a blessing to you. But a lot of times we get impatient, we get out there, we get with somebody, then we want y'all to try to fix the problem. Right. Because we done put the cart before the horse, now we want y'all to straighten it out. Why? Because we don't listen. We grown. We do what we want to do. Now I have adult children, but I'm telling you, I tell my adult children this. As long as you get money, if I give you money, you're going to do what I tell you to do. I don't care if you is grown. I'm still your daddy. I'm still the father. Huh? And I'm in a position to say that because I do a lot for my children. I pay for them to go to college. Out of 8 children, I got my name on about 5 cars. So they're going to listen. They're going to listen to me. Guaranteed. One way or the other. You get my money, you're going to do what I tell you to do. You can be 50 years old. And if I'm 80, if I say, well, give me a glass of water, you better get your brother to give me a glass of water. the way I was taught. But in Genesis 3:2-24, listen what it says. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother house and shall cleave unto his wife. Now what does that word? When you hear that word cleave, what comes to your mind? Cleave. Like sticking, right? Huh? One stick, togetherness. How come we don't see that? Normally, when I come, I bring my children. But I'm going to tell them to the story of my wife. It's her fault. And this is what it is. She said, now listen here now. We've been together almost 30 years. Everywhere we go, we got children. She said, we got adult children. Let the older children, let them stay home. They can handle everything. I was just wanting me and you to go. I said, okay. At first, I was like, I don't know. Because I'm a father. I like my children to be around me. Everywhere I go, my children go. I said, well, let me think about it. Yeah, I gave in. I gave in. I said, okay. But when we look at the word cleave, y'all said, shall a man leave his mother and father's house and do what? Cleave. Cleave to his what? His wife. Some of us got children. I ain't married. I don't know where the wife at. But we want to build a nation. How you going to build a nation? And your children, you don't have them like you. Then how can I put this? When you're a man and you have children, and you're not with their mothers, right? But we saying we Israel. We saying that we the light of the world. But we got outside children. The man got outside children. Sometimes the female got children. But we telling the world we represent the Most High. Come on, who we fooling? And then sometimes it's sad. The sister got to go put your own child support, take care of your own children. I raised 8 children, me and my wife. My wife never had to go to no government assistance. I refuse to take anything. I grew up like this. My father died when I was 1 month old. And didn't really know him. I'm from Mississippi, we're from the South. I know about working in the cotton field. I know about sharecropping. You want to talk about real prejudice? I done seen real prejudice. So I understand. But one thing that shaped and molded me, my mother, she never talked bad about my father. My father died when he was 24 years old. He was in a boat back in the beginning of the 60s with a white guy. They say he ended up dead. I'm going to show you about my family. Anybody know about the Black Panthers? Yeah. You know about Fred Hampton? You know about Mark Clark? That's my family. I'm a Clark. He got killed December 69, Chicago. So I got a lot of families come up in the, they weren't no punks. They gave their life up, but it was for a good cause, fighting for our people. But the thing about it is, if we saying that we represent Yah, we got to walk it like we're talking. I don't deal with people. Let me tell you something. When I'm talking, I don't have no friends outside of my son. I don't want no friends. Come on, I got 8 children and a bunch of grandchildren. I don't need no outside friends. My hands is time busy dealing with grandchildren. So I don't have time to worry about outside friends. If I listen to a person, a man, and if he talking slick, talking about his wife, or talking about a female and putting her down, I don't deal with people like that. But we saying with Israel, how many of us don't give no, but how many of you have children? It's time to go back and reclaim your sons, your daughters. You talking about building a nation? You can't build a nation without your children. Some of us know our relationship with our children not right. What you gonna do about it? You gotta go back and reclaim your sons, your daughters. And a lot of times, I just like to go the way the credit leads me. A lot of times, when you're dealing with dysfunctional people, the woman, she comes from a dysfunctional home. She may not have a good upbringing. She may not have a father in the house, right? Now you got a man. He's a half, she's a half. Two halves kind of come together, bring forth children, and what you think? What are they going to produce? Now you see why our community is going the way it's going. One thing I learned, and I'm going to get back to what my topic is, I learned not to judge people, no matter where they come from. When a child is born, no girl is born a prostitute. No baby come out the womb want to be a whore. No baby come out the womb want to be strung out on drugs. But something happened to lead her down that path, or to lead him down that path. So when we meet people that are going through these different, having these problems, struggles, you have to understand where they came from. You got women in the house of Israel that have been molested. They don't talk about it. I guarantee you, if most women, don't raise your hand, be honest, a lot of females was inappropriately touched when they was young. They don't talk about it. Someone was molested, they don't talk about it. But now they come into the knowledge of the Most High Yah, right? But they haven't dealt with that past. Now they get in a relationship with a man. He don't understand what she's going through. So now they have a conflict. Nobody know how to deal with that situation. These are things that are going on in the house of Israel. People don't talk about it. You got to bring this to reality. You got to bring this. You're supposed to be. We are supposed to be a walking Torah. When I was growing up, man, I thought molestation. I thought that's some white folk did. I'm just like, I'm gonna tell you something. It's like going on in our community as well. People just don't talk about it. Mental health. My wife, that's her profession, mental health. She deal with all kind of children. I don't know how she do it because I can do it. I don't have the patience. But she deal with all kind of children. Children, sometimes I talk to her, you talking about some abuse. You'd be surprised what some of our children are going through. In our homes. I'm talking in our community. Nobody talks about it. See, we got good at sweeping stuff under the rug. We don't want nobody to know our dirty laundry. We clean up we clean up everything. We clean up our house. I don't know why the Most High got me going this way, but I'm going to keep going this way. We clean up our house, don't we? We clean up our car, don't we? But how many of us clean up our spirit? We bath everything. But do you ever take a spiritual bath? One thing I ask every man in here, what do you want your legacy to be? That Papa was a rolling stone? Huh? As a mother, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your children to say about you when you leave this earth? If you have to leave the earth, what do you want? That's something we all have to think about. How do you want your children to remember you? I always tell my son, you don't just represent yourself. Sometimes we think that we just represent our own self. You don't represent yourself. When you go out there and commit sin, that affects everybody. Just don't affect you. For example, if I was to go out there and cheat on my wife, do you know how much damage that's going to do? I got grown children. Now they got to deal with that. Sometimes people are dealing with the sins of their parents. That's what keeps me walking on a straight and narrow line. I want my sons to remember me and have good words to say about me. That their father, he took care of his wife. He took care of his children. Not only that, he took care of his grandchildren. The same thing I taught my children, now I'm teaching their children. See, I'm the kind of man, not only am I be responsible for my children, but I'll be responsible for my grandchildren. I don't mind doing nothing for my children or my grandchildren. That's how we as men. If we want to take and build this community, build our nation, then we as men that want to stand and be like me, take control. Let's start with your own family. In order to build a nation, you got to start with family first. Before it was a nation with a what? A family. You can't have a nation without a family. So you start in the family. Start, every one of us start in our own homes. Go out there and get your son you know ain't doing right. If you love your son, no man gonna see his son going crooked and ain't gonna try to straighten him out and he say he love it. You're gonna do everything in your power to get him to walk the straight and narrow. If you love your son, that's what you'll do. Proverbs chapter 18. Let's look at Proverbs 18. There's a thing in, I'm going to talk on this, in the Proverbs, the 31st chapter, if I'm not mistaken, dealing with the virtuous woman. There's a part in that chapter, it says that she won't do, you know what? No evil. Man, you got men today, they hide other bank accounts from their wives. I wouldn't be with no woman I couldn't trust. If I had to hide and lie about my money, I would be with her. I'm not going to have no woman that I can't trust with our money. I would be with her. I can do bad by myself. The virtuous woman said that she would do him what? She going to do him good all the days of life. She's not going to do nothing like that. She's not going to go out there and misrepresent him in public. If you want to have a good relationship, she know how to carry herself. She know how to dress. She know how to dress like a harlot. Because we know in the Torah, and in the book it said that the woman had the attire of a harlot, so we know she was dressed a certain way. Right? So a virtuous woman, she's not going to be like that. And a righteous man, he ain't going to be out there trying to chase every skirt tail out there in the street either. The Creator created me for one thing. I stay in my lane. That is to be a good father. Not only I try to show other people how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to go out there and have a vision for your family. I talk to my wife all the time. I said, listen here. See, a good man gonna always make sure his wife is taken care of, and sure even if something happened to him, even if the Most High called him home, he's gonna make sure that his family is what? Taken care of. Me and my wife, we sit down, we have these discussions. I said, well, you know what? If something happened to me, you'll be taken care of. You won't have to worry about a thing. Everything gonna be taken care of. I'm not gonna have my wife out there on the street with a teacup. Can I get donation to help bury my husband? That's sad. But I see a lot in our community. I'm not gonna be a man not gonna y'all done blessed me to work 50 years and I ain't leave nothing for my children. All the money y'all blessed me, I spend up in vanity. Didn't leave a quarter. This is the thing that's going on in our children, in our community. Sometimes we can be so selfish. We don't think about the next generation. My daddy, I heard a guy on my job, we was talking, he said, you know what, my dad didn't leave me nothing. So I ain't gonna leave my dad to work and get like I had to get. I'm thinking, man, that's your own seed you talking about. That's your seed. And you mean to tell me you're not willing to save nothing for them? That's sad. Proverbs 18. Look at verse 22. But look at verse 21 and 22. I like verse 21 because verse 21 is very powerful. It said, death and life are in the power of what? The tongue. It said, death and life are in the power of the tongue. What that mean? That means your words have what? Power. You want to be if you want to stay married 50 years or 20 years, 30, you can do it. But you speak on it. Put it out there in the universe. Whatever you put in the universe, it'll come back to you. You speak it, it'll come back. You have to have a made-up mind to listen. We're going to stick together. No matter what we go through, we're going to work this thing out. That's how I saw my grandparents do it. And back in those days, they didn't have no money. These people out there in the fields. We don't have it hard like they had. But they stuck together. They didn't have no money. Everything they got, they had to give it out the ground. The Most High had to bless them to eat. We can go to stores. Back in those days when I was a kid, I didn't see them going to no store. They didn't grow it, they didn't get it. Or they went deer hunting. You know, in the South, we keep guns. I don't know about up north, but South, we love guns. Huh? That's just I guess it's a down south thing. We love guns. Even our females like guns. It's just different cultures, I guess. But the thing about it is, in those days, hey, you didn't get out. If the Most High didn't bless your ground, you didn't get nothing. You can't go up to these different stores. We got the Most High. We always talk about all this, but if we look back, the Creator, y'all done brought us a mighty long way. If you don't think y'all done brought us a mighty long way, some of us driving $40,000 and $50,000 cars. Our grandparents, they sacrificed for us to be in the position we're in today. Yes, we in Jacob's trouble. That's true. But even through Jacob's trouble, y'all still done brought us a mighty long way from where we used to be, where we were at. Verse 22. It said, whosoever find their wife, find a what? A good thing. How many does have a good thing? That's what I'm talking about. Now, I got a great thing. Huh? I come, my children be fussing. I'll tell you, one of the greatest things that ever hit my ear, my son was telling my wife, he said, man, I want to find a woman like my mama. I thought that was like music to my ears. And I know it's music to my wife's ears because he see how his mama treat me. I don't be stuck with paying no bills. I put the money she take out, I don't bother myself with all that. I deal with my children, deal with my sons, grandchildren. When I come home, my wife, she brings my food to me. I don't have to ask her. Now, mommy, me, this one been married since she was 17 years old. I was 24. I said, man, that's mighty young. Her mother and my mother were best friends. She used to sleep in the bed with my mother. She knew me before I knew her. She said, that's what, I'm going to show the story. She said, now, when you was in the military, she used to be staying with my mom. She said, I used to look at your picture and say, if he ever come back, I'm going to get him. This is y'all ask. She'll tell you that. She never seen me the other day. Now, she knew of me. I was young in the military. I'm like, man, I'm out there doing my thing. I'm in different countries. I'm in California. I'm staying somewhere everywhere. But it shows you the power of what? Words. But shorten up a little bit. You have to raise that. Listen, if you want a powerful marriage, you can have it. Me and my wife, we're not in competition. I don't compete with her. She don't compete with me. She said, you want to go back to school, go back to college? I said, listen, I ain't going back nowhere. I said, when I retire, I ain't going to hit a lick of a snake. Now, if you want to go and get your education, that's on you. I'll pay for whatever, but me, it ain't happening. I'm enjoying myself. I said, now listen, when I retire, you gonna retire. We both gonna sit at the house. And my wife, girl, is still young. When I sit down, she's gonna sit down. So we can enjoy it because I like to travel, she like to travel. But the thing about it is, I always have a soft heart for females because I was raised by a single mother. And I saw what she had to go through. My father died, unfortunately. But I know some of the things they go through, how tough it is to raise children, especially males by themselves. So we as men, we have children, and let's go back and reclaim our sons and daughters. Let's build a nation like Yah wants to be. Hallelujah.
Praise the name of Yah. Go mercy, my brother. Hallelujah. Shabbat Shalom. All right, next I'm going to call up from the house of Israel of Cincinnati. I'm going to call up Brother Napthtali, Ben Israel. Hallelujah. He's one of the Mowrehs down there. That brother spoke last night. And he's going to come and make an introduction for his honor. Hallelujah.
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 Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
Yah's righteous.
Yah's righteous.
Yah's holy.
Yah's holy.
Let Yahweh be magnified.
Let Yahweh be magnified.
Please be seated. I'm given the honor and privilege to call up our next teacher. But before I do, I just want to honor two of my great elders, Mowreh IshYAH and Mowreh Dan. Hallelujah. Mowreh Dan and I stand corrected. Praise Yahweh for my beautiful wife, YisraEL. Hallelujah. Thank you for that. I'm still learning, young buck. But praise Yah. This talk, brother, so I can hear you, man. Let's go ahead and call up our beautiful choir, YAH'S Gates. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
God's righteous.
God's righteous.
God's holy.
God's holy.
Let Yahweh be magnified.
Let Yahweh be magnified.
We'll do an old school favorite. Sign.
There was nobody on praise the sign. Nobody on accident. Can I get an amen? Amen. Can I get a hallelujah? Hallelujah. Everybody know that. Although what's another side?
Exodus 31, 12 through 17. This is how you get down with the Israelite team. Praising Yahweh, your Elohim on this holy convocation day. Thou shalt not do any work now. And if you picking up sticks, then you will get hit. This is what you do after you roam in your home. Don't go out doing that Sabbath day. Therefore, Yahweh was the Sabbath day. So keep it holy. So remember the Sabbath day. It is a sign between me and you. Thus saying what? Please, my people, hear what you gotta say. Praise God for the Sabbath day sign. Keep it Sabbath as a sign. Praise God. Tell anybody. Keep the Sabbath as a sign. Praise God. HOI Choir, 1907, track 6. We can praise God some more, can we? Praise God. God's law's perfect, converting the soul. God's law's sure, making rise to simple. God's statutes of right, rejoice in the heart. God's commandment explore, enlighten in the eyes. The fear of God's name and God forever. He judges so y'all are true and righteous so together. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. All my people say praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Hear what my people say. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Hear what my people say. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Yeah. I know you got it now, right? You got it now, right? You lost our CD? We gonna do this acapella then, because we can do it acapella. Y'all ready? Da 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 da. Come on, listen to her. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. 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 Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Come on. Come on. Come on. And clap your hands. Yeah. Listen. Yah's law is perfect, converting the soul. Yah sets you on the shore, making rise and simple. Yah statutes of right, rejoice in the heart. Yah's commandment is pure, enlighten in the eyes. The fear of Yah's free and God forever. He's ready to see Yah are true and ready to soul together. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. First and foremost, all praise to Yah, creator of the heaven, earth, and sea, and all the inmates be. Strong as revive, God's beings be Yah, desiring like fears. Let me tell you who he is, the Almighty El Shaddai, he who sits so high, El Elyon, El Most High, Elohim Shalom, YisraEL. Most High Yah. Yah says she know short, make it wise and simple. Yah statutes so bright, rejoice in the heart. Yes, the man in his pure, and light in the eyes. The fear of Yah's heat, and growing forever. He's letting see Yah are true, and righteous all together. Praise Yah, 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 praise Yah. He was our king, took us in the captivity for our iniquity. He was our judge, he had mercy and compassion on me. His love and his presence daily. Who was our lawgiver? That's the only one. No other. That's why left the stone cutters. All of our lovers betray us. This is why it is Yah, and He will save us. No more following my lust, and why I trust. He blame my blood, wash me the dust. Breathe in me life. But my people hear the truth, so they live in faith. Now we here as it is this day. Destroyed, I'm mainly slain in the streets. Our mothers praising, images of pain, and now we lose to turn me back. We put these verses for us, I don't know whether that be displayed. Yah's love is perfect and great in the soul. Yah's testimony show, make you wise and simple. Yah's statutes so bright, his voice in my heart. Yes, a man in his foot, and in the eyes, the fear of Yah's feet, and growing forever. His judgments of Yah are true, and righteous all together. Praise Yah, 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 praise Yah. All my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Hear all my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Hear praise the mighty, the holy, the only one, mighty God. Oh, praise Yah, praise Yah. In the heavens, praise Yah on the heights, praise Yah. All you angels, stars are right. Praise Yah in the mountains, on earth from the sea. Praise Yah, all you kings and beasts of the beast. Praise Yah, all you saints, children of Israel. Praise Yah, you lions. Praise Yah, all these people as we go to Zion. Come on, here, yo. All my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Here, all my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Hear Yah's law, it's perfect and very soul. Yah's testimony show, make you rise and simple. Yah's statutes so right, rejoicing all up. Yes, a man in his foot, and light in the eyes. The fear of Yah's feet, and growing forever. He tells you see what I truth. And righteous all together, praise Yah, 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 praise Yah. All my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Hear all my people say, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah, praise Yah. Hear hallelujah. Mighty El Shaddai, He who sits so high. Elohim, Shema, YisraEL, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, 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 Yahweh,
Praise the mighty Yah. That was YAH'S Gates. Hallelujah. And at this time, we're going to continue to move forward for time's sake. We're going to go ahead and go right in. Class is in session. So let's get right back to our seats and go ahead and get ready for our next speaker to come up. And right before I do, like I said, I just wanted to acknowledge our two elders. That is the founders of this sanctuary that we sit in, Mowreh Dan and Mowreh IshYAH. And I came up under these beautiful Mowrehs. And I called Mowreh IshYAH, he was the slayer. Mowreh Dan was beloved Mowreh Dan. And if you love Dan, you know what I'm talking about. Dan just can't do no wrong in your book when you love Dan. But Mowreh IshYAH, the scriptures say that none says restored. But Mowreh IshYAH said restored.
And this is how the Restoration of Sacred Laws Conference was born. It's a time and season for everything. It's a time for brothers and sisters to come together and say, hey, let's put our differences to the side and let's just be family today. But it's also a time and season that Yahweh has destined and said, listen, debate your cause with your brother. And don't discover a secret to yourself. It's the Most High to say, produce your cause and bring forth your strong reasons. Because we're supposed to be what? Men of truth. And so the conference, and that's the whole vision behind the Sacred Laws Conference, for us to iron out our disagreements and our differences. So the unity is beautiful and the love is beautiful. We gotta have that. But we gotta deal with our differences too. Praise Almighty Yah. Hallelujah. 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 So at this time, I'm gonna call up our next teacher who's been teaching in the house of Israel for over 25 years. He's an ordained minister, ordained by Yah, under the ministries that was led by Mowreh IshYAH. He's co-founder of the Restoration of the Sacred Laws Conference that's held annually 3 times a year for 25 years now. He's also the host of Nothing But the Truth radio broadcast that comes on Monday through Friday. You can find it on YouTube, HOY Cincinnati, 7 to 8:30 p.m. This teacher, Mowreh, also happens to be my father, Mowreh IshYAH Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Yah is righteous. Yah is righteous. Yah is holy. Yah is holy. Let Yahweh be magnified. Let Yahweh be magnified. You may be seated in Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Of course, I'm going to go quick. But please give the house of Israel here 1664, the great Mordecai, Mowreh, Hezekiah, Kiliah, and the elders here at the house of Israel. Please give them a hand. Please stand up. The food, the visuals, and everything. Hallelujah. And let me say Shabbat Shalom to all our beautiful brothers and sisters that came from afar, and those from the house of Israel here in Cincinnati, Ohio. My beloved brother, he's absolutely correct. We get a chance to talk. We break bread.
Excuse me, my elder. Can we have everyone to my right? I'm talking about everyone. Please go have a seat. Let's give our elder your undivided attention. We had lunch an hour ago. If you made it in late, you could eat after class. But this is not the time to eat, and this is not the time to conversate. Please respect our elders in the word of Yah that they're delivering. So let's keep the chatter down over here. Let's keep the commotion down. You're shuffling with food. Let's end it. You can eat after class. Praise Yah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah. And I just want to get right to it. I do want to say this one thing real quick. Back in 2015, I came together with some of my brothers and I asked them a real important question. I asked them, what is the most important thing we should be doing in the last days? And I got all their talk and they told me, and I said, well, let me show you what the Creator showed me and called me to do. And that was to seek Him. And the brother said, well, we already seek the Most High. I said, no, you never did this. You never sought the Most High in this way. Our fathers have, but we didn't. And I spent the whole year of 2015 going around to many brothers I spoke to here, on the phone, conference lines, personally. Traveled to 7 different states, many different cities, speaking to brothers about seeking the Most High. And I didn't hear, it ain't time. I didn't hear, the trouble ain't coming at that time. And when Yahweh called me to do it, we didn't try to do it. We did it. And there's many people who was here who witnessed it. Now here's another call to do it. And I'm willing to sit down and talk and discuss this. But make no mistake about it, Yahweh called me to do what I did, not a man. And we did it. And I went to all the various leaders in our community. And they came from all over, all the way from California, all the way down south, New York. They came from Virginia, even Pennsylvania. Because I talked to the brothers and sisters. And what are we here today for? We're here to discuss the same thing we went to Virginia for. And that's Jacob's trouble. Because Jacob is in a lot of trouble. And not just Jacob, the world is in a lot of trouble. This is why we call to seek the Most High. And we're still seeking the Most High. And my beloved brother said, well, do we know our purpose? I don't know if you know yours, but I know mine. And let me tell you what my purpose is. My purpose is to make war. My purpose is not to bring peace at all. Y'all raised me up to be a warrior just like Mowreh IshYAH. And why? Because every day the true and living Elohim is being defied right before our face, right in our eyes, every single day. Every single day, Yahweh's name is being profaned. Every day. While we planning and building and doing all that, well, his name is being profaned. Every single day, those that hate the Most High have lifted up the head. Every single day, these things are being done. Every single day, there are those who are working to cut your name off, that your name might not be in remembrance no more. Every single day, this is being done. Every single day, your enemies is working hard to make the name of Israel in remembrance no more. That you might not even be a nation of people. They don't even see you as a nation. And they don't even call you by your name. Every day, words, great words are being spoken against the Most High. We don't have to keep the law. We don't have to keep the Sabbath day. We don't have to do the law in this land. We don't have to remember Yahweh's Sabbaths. And what is Israel doing about these things? Yahweh said, Israel is my battle axe. Israel is my weapons of war. So what is Israel doing? And what are you made and designed to do? I know what I'm made and designed to do because I do it every day. Every single day, our enemies are in our land, polluting and devouring it every single day. Not while we sleep. They doing it right in our presence. Like we not even there. Like we don't even exist. Like we're not even a people. There's a lot of things we need to gather on. There's a lot of things we need to come together on. And if it ain't about the Most High, everything else is vain. The scripture said, unless Yahweh build a house, they that labor in vain that build it. Yahweh is trying to raise up an army. Not just a people, but an army. When he breathed that breath into the life of our dead souls in the book of Ezekiel, he said, can this army live? Can these people live? And what are you living to do? We the servants. We made for him. He's not made for us. We made for him. And here it is, we complaining about our plight, about our oppression, about our depression, about our mind, about our heart. No, we should be serving Yahweh. He the one should have a complaint, not us. And here it is. The Creator said, there's nothing new under the sun. He said, what is now is already being. It's already being. And what shall be is already been done. And we the same people today that was yesterday. And let me show you yesterday people, because I heard somebody say, man, we can't keep making the same mistakes. And you're absolutely right, we can't. But if you got wisdom, you already see the same mistakes already being made. Because there's only one thing that can save Israel. Yahweh only gave us one thing for our troubles. Whether you got troubles in your marriage, whether you got financial troubles, and whether it's Jacob's trouble, there's only one thing that can save you, and it's wisdom. And I'm going to show you why it's wisdom. If you go to the books of Proverbs, now I want to get right to the point. Go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 9th chapter. I apologize, I don't have nothing smooth to say.
Hallelujah.
In the book of Ecclesiastes, the 9th chapter, the 16th verse.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength.
Yeah, wisdom is better than all the strength you can muster up.
Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised. His words are not heard.
Yeah, just because he's poor. Just because he don't have the strength that you have, but he has wisdom. And you don't realize wisdom is greater than strength. And this is the one thing nobody wants. And I'm going to show you you don't want it. Continue reading.
In verse 17. The words of the wise man are heard in quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools.
Yeah, in other words, the words of a wise man is heard in the quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. Because people want to talk loud, but wisdom, it don't have to be loud at all. You'll be able to see it. If you can see, you can see it. And this is what Yahweh wants you to see. '18th verse, come on, let's go.
Wisdom is better than weapons of war.
It's better than weapons of war.
But one sinner destroyeth much good.
And see here, we in war. Because every day our maker, our creator, is being blasphemed. And his servants, what are they doing about it? What are they doing about the name of our maker, the creator of the universe? Who got his back? Well, he chose Israel to be his battle axe. And Yahweh said this, just to show you what wisdom is in the book of Job, the 27th chapter. See, I know I was raised up for war because I was born in a time of war. I was born with people, our enemies around us every day, trying to misuse us, trying to abuse us, trying to oppress us, and blaspheming our maker. Let somebody talk about your daddy you see every day, and you came from his seed, and see what you'll do. But then the maker of all daddies, what are you doing for him? Watch what it says in the book of Job. Yes, the 28th chapter, 27th chapter, I apologize. The 28th verse, what do it say?
Job 27, 28?
28. Job 28.
28.
And I'm looking at 28 and 28, and that's what I get for cheap glasses. 28 and 28.
Job 28, verse 28. And unto the man he said.
Unto the man he said, and this to the man.
Behold, to fear Yah, that is.
See, the wisdom. Fear of Yah, that is wisdom. We should be concerning ourselves in the fear of Yahweh. The scripture say the fear of Elohim is to keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. This is what we should be concerning ourselves with. Wisdom is even better than weapons of war. And we in war, whether you believe it or not. As soon as you go home, you're going to know you are. You're going to see your oppression. Go ahead.
And to depart from evil.
And to depart from evil
is understanding.
It is understanding. And I just want you to see. I want you to see why you must have wisdom in Jacob's trouble. And that's the only thing that's going to save you. See, in the book of 1 Samuel, because it don't matter what trouble you are, you got to have wisdom. Financial, marriage, sickness. As soon as our people get sick, they don't go to wisdom. They don't go to Yahweh. They go to the doctor. They go to the medicine cabinet. They don't go to Yahweh in the time of sickness. But you better find wisdom. Watch what it says in 1 Samuel 17. I need you to speed it up for me, YishiYAH. 1 Samuel 17, starting at the 4th verse.
1 Samuel 17, verse 4. And it reads, And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and the target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of honey. And one bearing a shield went before him. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are you come out to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine? Are ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me, and to kill me, then will he be your servants. But if I prevail against him, and kill him, then shall ye be our servants, and serve us. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man, that we may fight together.
Look, he said, I defy the armies of Israel. Now, the armies of Israel is just the men of Israel. They wasn't no special elite type of group. No, it was all our men was part of the army. If you was 20 years old and older, you was part of the army. You was part of the leadership. You fought for your people and for your nation. And we had this big, uncircumcised Philistine to defy our armies. Just like our armies being defied today. Right in our midst, right in front of our face, right in our ears. And Yahweh said all we need is wisdom to defeat them. But they were defied then, just like we're defied today. And let me show you what happened. Go right to the 16th verse.
And the Philistine drew near morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days.
And why 40 days? See, you're going to learn something about the judgment of Yahweh. Because all it takes is 40. That's all it takes. And they got defied 40 days. Can you imagine being in the military and somebody came out to fight you and you was trained to fight and Yahweh is supposed to be on your side behind you and you won't even fight? Yeah, that's what we see today. A lot of talkers, but not a lot of fighters. That's what we see today. And how do I know we see it today? Because we seen it then. And it ain't nothing new under the sun. And this is what you're going to have to deal with in Jacob's trouble. And let me show you what happened. Go right to the 26th verse.
Verse 26. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth the Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living Elohim?
And that's what he did. And you know what? David wasn't even a man. He wasn't even a man of war. He was a little boy. He was a little shepherd boy. Because not one man stood up. Not one. Not one. Not one for Yah. Not one for the people. Not one for the nation. Not one for their babies. Not one for their women. None of them stood up. But a little boy. And then it ends in verse 45.
Verse 45. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied.
Whom thou hast defied. When are we going to go in the name of our Elohim? When are we going to have the courage to do what David did? In other words, the only reason we're not together is because of courage. Every day our Elohim is being defied, being separated. We can justify, we can talk about it, but you're not at the table. We have conferences 3 times a year about differences. And I know who at the table, because I'm at the table every year. And if I heard about another brother or another group talking about the law, come, let's discuss this, I'm there. Why? Because the law is our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the people. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. This is the thing that's going to help us to overcome. This is the thing that's going to stop the nation from defying the armies of the true and living Elohim. Not only they did it there, go to the book of Numbers, the 13th chapter. During the time of David, all it took was 40 days. Well, what did it take during the time of the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt? Well, you don't see. Numbers 13 and 25.
Numbers 13, verse 25. And they returned from searching out the land after 40 days.
After 40 days, they returned. They done did they search. Yahweh already said the land is yours. All I want you to do is search it. But look how the people came back. Not the people, but the army. The armies of Israel. The children of Israel. The men of Israel. The warriors. This is how they came back. 26th verse.
And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word to them, and unto all the congregation, and shewed them the fruit of the land. And they told them and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people...
In other words, it's real good. This is something we would want. This is something that we love and like, and we definitely want to live there. But that was the positive. Now watch the negative.
Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses, and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come to of the giants, and when we in our own sight as grasshoppers. And so we were in their sight.
In other words, they were scared. They were scared. Just like they were scared before, they were scared then, and we still scared. Scared. This is our wisdom. This is the thing that's going to help us defy the armies of Yahweh. This is the thing that we use to plant. This is the thing that we use to build. This is the thing that we use to fight. This is the thing we protect our women and our children. But nobody want to talk about this. Nobody want to deal with this, even though this is what Yahweh gave it to us for. And what did Moses do in 40 days and 40 nights? And why did he do it? In the book of Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter, turn there. Because all it takes is 40 days to show the true reality of somebody. And see, trouble is coming where the true you is going to come out. The true you is going to come out. See, nobody see the true you now because the trouble ain't came. Marriage is not defined by all the good days you have. Wait till the trouble comes. Wait till the financial problems come. Then you're going to see what you made of and what she made of. Brotherhood is not measured by, oh, everything good. He nice to me, I'm nice to him, we get along, but wait till the trouble happens. Then you're going to see the real brother. You're going to see the brother you don't want to be in a pit with. And that time is coming. If you don't see it already, then you're going to be shocked. Watch what it says in Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter. At the 11th verse.
Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 11. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights.
Yes, at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, because you know what Moses did? See, when our people were sinning, now it's another type of fight. And you know who fought for us? Moses. And you know what he did? Fasted. He didn't call no doctor. He didn't call no priest. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. And why? Because he knew Yahweh's judgment. See, when our people get sick today, we try to prescribe them herbs. But why don't you fast for them? Why don't you pray for them? Why don't you call on that true and living Elohim that you say you believe in? And let him do your work. And let him heal. You say he can heal. You say he can recover, he can redeem. Then why don't you use him for what you say he can do? Watch what Moses did though.
And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that Yahweh gave me 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And Yahweh said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from hence. For thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside, out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image.
In other words, all he did was left them alone 40 days and 40 nights. Because in 40 days, you're going to see a lot about people. And this thing is not over yet. And watch what happened in the same chapter, in the 17th verse. And I'm skipping so we can get right down to it.
Verse 17. And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands, and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before Yahweh as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. And I did neither eat bread nor drink water because of all your sins, which ye had sinned, in doing wickedly in the sight of Yah, to provoke him to anger.
Yeah, he went down 40 days and 40 nights. Not because he sinned, not because he did wickedly, not because he built a calf. He did this for the other people's sin. And we got people who won't even sin for their own self, or fast for their own self, and won't refrain from drinking for their own sin, let alone for somebody else's sin. But this is what Moses did. Why? Because he knew Yahweh's judgment. And just the last 2 scriptures, or 1 scripture, and let me show you Yahweh's judgment. And it's in the book of Deuteronomy 25. He said 5 minutes, and I'm going to do it less. Starting at the very first verse.
Deuteronomy 25 and verse 1. If there be a controversy between them, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down, and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault, by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed less. If he should exceed, and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brothers should seem vile unto thee.
Yeah, 40 stripes. 40 stripes for the wicked. And my good brothers and sisters, we've been wicked. Why do you think Noah was on the ark 40 days and 40 nights? Because all the wickedness that he's seen. We must get ourselves together. And it ain't going to happen without wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. So with all thy getting, get understanding. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yah's righteous. Yah's holy. May Yahweh be magnified.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Man, what a great people, man, to sit here so long just taking in the words of the mighty Yah. And I think the mighty Yah is pleased at each and every last one of us. And before, what I want to do is, I got one more elder that I want to call up before we begin to close out. And this is a great elder friend of mine that I go to for counsel on a lot of occasions. And this brother he came to our conference last year. He's a very great dynamic speaker and a very wise person. Because like the brother just said, when we talk about wisdom, wisdom comes in many different forms. And we got to utilize all these different forms of wisdom in order to be able to survive in these last days. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And without further delay, I'm going to call up one of the elder from YisraEL in North Carolina. And this is the elder brother Sar Aharon. Please give the brother a big round of applause. Stand and give him a big round of applause. Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Please be seated. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to the creator of heaven and earth, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I thank him for my life today and the lives of all of you. I thank him for his mercies that he allowed me to get here safely and all of you to get here safely. Continuing to ask him for his divine protection so that we might all get home safely and enjoy the rest of this weekend. He said I'm wise, and I am wise enough to know that you all have been here a long time. And I'm not going to give a long speech. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all for the hospitality that we've gotten here today. It's been really beautiful. To thank, and give yourselves a round of applause. To thank the Most High for all of the talent that I got to witness today, the food, the entertainment, and then after all of that, he wants me to come up here and, you know, it's not going to happen. But I do want to say, because I heard so many powerful speakers today, that there's a lot of wisdom in our nation that's been wasted on foolishness and vanity and I think discord, and my prayer is that we will figure out a way to work together, to live together, to respect each other, and that is how we glorify the Creator. I want to just go one place today. I'm going to go to Ezekiel 33. And because everybody said so many powerful things, I just want to just kind of wrap it all up, if I may. Do I have a read? Can I get a read? Good brother mine? I appreciate it. You will read for me. Because so many people said so many powerful things. And some of them might even have been slightly contrary to each other. But it's because everybody has a different mission in this nation. We all don't have the same mission. But we all have a responsibility to contribute something to the nation of Israel that's going to help to bring us together and to progress us. Otherwise, we just playing Shabbat. on Saturday. We're playing church on Saturday. And I tell you what makes me nervous, that there's a generation that's almost all gone. Just have a handful of them left now. And I'm sure it was their intention that this nation would be a lot further along since we came into the knowledge of ourselves so many years ago than we are now. And I sat with Zaquane Dawid today. Every time that happens, he puts something on me, sends me home, contemplating, okay, what can I do next? How can I help to get this done? Because I'm a baby compared to some of those men that have gone and are in their last years. And I want to do something for them so they can see something before they leave this earth. I don't want to put it on the next generation or the generation after that, which would be my grandchildren. Because not only are we supposed to leave them an inheritance of monetary value, we're supposed to leave them an inheritance of love and of commitment and how should I say, a commitment and an inheritance of fulfilling the prophecy, making some type of step towards the fulfillment of the prophecy that the Creator said that we would get out of the lands of our captivity. All the talk in the world is not going to get us out of the lands of our captivity. And if we talk about the fact that we are supposed, that we want, they sang a song today, a powerful song. Babylon, what is it, you wrong? Yeah, well and Babylon's going to fall. Where's Babylon? Where are we? We plan on falling with Babylon? So then what are we doing to get out of Babylon? Because the Creator is going to sit with, listen, he's going to keep us around as long as we're serving him. Otherwise, we have no purpose. So if we know that Babylon is falling, we, just like Egypt, we had to get up and get out. There's certain things we need to be doing. Let's go to Ezekiel. I'm going to try to be quick because, again, you've been sitting here all day, and I don't want no tomatoes being thrown at me. So my reader's going to read, and I'm just going to kind of summarize it as quickly as we can move. Torah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Ezekiel 33, what verse?
Starting at the first verse,
Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet, and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head.
Okay, so he's saying that the Creator is sending, I don't know how many watchmen been up here today, because I came in at around 12:30, and I know there was some other watchmen that got up before I arrived. And all of those men and women are telling us the things that we need to know in order to not only survive, but to serve the Creator as best we can, and to develop Israel into a powerful nation. The followers have an obligation to listen, because the Creator is saying that the burden is going to fall on the watchman to give you the message. So if we don't give you the message, then it's our fault. We give you the message and you don't heed to the message, then it's your fault. If he gives us the message and we don't give you the message, not only are you going to fall for your sins, we're going to fall for not telling you. So we got to go just because we didn't tell you when you were going to go anyway. Am I right or wrong? Right. Keep reading.
He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come, and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require, at the watchman's hand.
You know, sometimes people come up here and they say things we don't like. So, you know, we don't want to hear it. We get mad at the messenger instead of listening to the message. So the Creator's telling us, doesn't matter whether you like the message or not. Take the message. Take the wisdom from the message. I tell people all the time, you hate a certain nationality of people. You say you hate Chinese people. Okay, so now, you're going to tell me a Chinese person can't tell you anything? So if a Chinese person knock on your door and tell you your house is on fire, you're going to tell them to go somewhere because you don't like Chinese people? You're going to take the message from wherever you hear it. Even from your enemies sometimes, they give you a message. 45 ain't in office for no reason. He's in there to wake us up. Make us realize that he's helping America fall. He's not falling by himself. He's taking somebody with him. And we're sitting around acting like we don't understand that all of these are writings on the wall. He's a messenger. Time sheet. Let's keep it going, please. My reader.
So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them for me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, then that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand.
We have an obligation as leaders in this nation to tell you whether you hear or forbear, whether you like it or not. That doesn't mean that everything we say may be actually true or may be accurate, because sometimes leaders speak in opposite directions. That's why, as the last speaker said, you have to have your own wisdom too. And you have to use your own wisdom and common sense. All of us learn that before we learn how to come out here and worship. We learn at home, we learn common sense. We learn the right thing to do. So we don't have to follow a false prophet if we have our own wisdom. And sometimes our wisdom as followers can help our leaders if they have the humility to listen. We all have an obligation to make sure we pay attention to what our leaders are telling us. But one thing that we have to do is we cannot let all of these elders lead the face of the earth and we don't seek their wisdom. Yes. We don't seek their advice. We don't try to stick to some of the things they said. The music has changed. Technology has changed. Social media has changed the world. But we should not let every fad and fancy change the way we think as a people to get to the promised land. There's some basics that we have to hold on to.
That's right.
The world is moving much, much, much too fast. We should not be trying to keep up. We have to know what's going on. We have to understand the sign of the times. But we have to say to ourselves, wait a minute, that's going too far. I'm going to slow my roll and I'm going to think about this before I make all of these decisions. Because what we're doing is we're following the fads and the fancies of the nations that are around about us. Zuckerberg is not looking out for your self-interest. Zuckerberg wants to take all your privacy away from you. He wants you to think that what used to be kept behind closed doors is supposed to be out for the whole world to look at. And we've fallen into that trap, destroying ourselves, calling each other out right in front of the whole world. How does that help the nation of Israel? Let's keep it moving because I see somebody just pulled out a tomato.
Verse 9. Nevertheless.
We're in verse 9.
Verse 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, and if he do not turn from his way, he shall die this iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
Yeah, so I'm here to deliver my soul. And I hope that I can deliver somebody else's soul. Not because I know it all, but because I just want us to think and wake up and consider what we're doing. So many people got up here today, I could comment on all of them. talking about marriage and family. I know that was a hard pill for some people to swallow, but it's true. And before we're going to have a nation, we got to have individuals, number one. So my righteousness is important before I can develop a family. And I have to have a family before I can help build a nation. I got to build a family. Families make communities, communities make the nation. And we have to make sure we handle it first. In other words, I can't come here and tell you all how to live your life and I don't have my stuff in order. My family's all in disarray. I'm supposed to live by example. And our children have to see those examples. This is a tough world we're leaving for them. There's not a whole lot we can do. Certain things are out of our control. But there's certain things we can do as a nation to help our children survive no matter what happens. And not only do they need to understand and know the Creator and know how to serve Him, live righteous lives, but they also have to have a certain amount of intelligence, because the people that they're going to have to lead are intelligent people. In an evil way, but that's intelligence too. And we have to prepare them. Let's move it along.
Verse 10. Therefore, O thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away in them, how should then we live? Say unto them, as I live, says Yahweh Elohim, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. For why will ye die, O house of Israel?
Okay, so, sometimes after you done lived a long time or enough years to build up a lot of unrighteous deeds before the Creator, we start getting a little depressed. We start feeling like, oh, well, I've already done this, I've already done that, so I can't fix anything. I'm just going to keep on living in degradation. Because, that's where I'm good. I'm good at that. The Creator is telling us, I don't care how long you've been living, you still have an opportunity to change your life. You still have an opportunity to go another direction. And He's willing to forget. Who does that? You know anybody on the earth that can let you do all kind of evil and disgusting things and look you in the face and say, I forget about all of that? They're going to remember something, especially if you did it to them. Yet the Creator has been disrespected over and over again, and I can use a lot of adjectives for what we've done to the Most High. Yet He's telling us, I still give you an opportunity to serve me, to love me, to change your life, to live a better life. We coming on Yom Kippur now. That's where we all should be. Not just because it's Yom Kippur, but He always renews His faith in us by giving us another opportunity to get our lives together.
Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteousness of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgressions.
We like to, us over righteous people, we know who we are. We think we can be righteous all the time. And I'm going to do this little unrighteous thing because, it feels good. Oh, so-and-so does it all the time and he's prosperous. Creator saying, He's going to get his too, but you're going to get yours first. Because you know right from wrong. And you decided to disobey me. The Creator, everybody thinks, somebody said, you might have a shot glass of opportunity to live unrighteously before the Creator. Somebody else had 3 liters. Do you know how much you have? Nobody's got 3 liters on them right now in your pocket, do you? Let's keep reading.
He shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trust to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered. But for his iniquity that he has committed, he shall die for it.
Now, that's not very, it's not making us feel good, is it? We got opportunity. Let's see what happens for the unrighteous.
Again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if he turn from his sin, and do that which is lawful and right, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, he shall not die.
Okay, so now we pay back the people we owe. Some of us got debts we ain't never paid back. We try to fix the wrongs that we've done. Say a kind word to somebody we've been really bullying all our lives. Fix our relationships with our families. Go back and try to build something with the children that we left with a mother that we decided we don't want anymore. Or a man we decided we don't want anymore. Try to rebuild the family so that we can become a nation. We're too fractured as families to be a whole law-abiding, righteous nation. We got too much mud on our, dirt on our hands. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm just hoping I'm here to make you feel sorrowful. I want you to think about how you're living, just like I have to think about how I'm living, how we're living as a nation. How can we fix it? Everybody gave you solutions to how to fix it. Wisdom is not enough. Righteousness is not enough. Intelligence is not enough. But all of that together, we can have enough of what we need in order to build this nation. And we have to remember the lessons that we learned from men that were here 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. We have to see the paths that they walked on. Everybody cried for Aretha Franklin. And it was a sad thing to see her go. And the history that she left. A lot of us don't understand how important Aretha Franklin was. Because we lived during her lifetime. Her music saw us through so many different heartaches and pains and situations that you all young people, you don't understand. I can't explain it to you because you had to be there to understand it. Just had to. But what I'm telling you is that type of individual, the impact that she had and people like her, and I looked at the funeral and I saw Louis Farrakhan, old man, Jesse Jackson, those guys are old. You have no idea the fight that they fought in order for us to be able to go to the schools we want to go to even drink out of the same faucet as a white person, to walk on the same side of the sidewalk as a white person. I got chased from school and junior high school because I got bused in the 60s to a white neighborhood, and they chased us home every day to the train station. I lived it. People died for us to not be called the N-word, and now that's just our homies' name. We have no respect for the people that came before us that got us to the freedom that we have now. Yeah, you think you in some type of oppression now? You don't know oppression. Let's finish it up.
Verse 16. None of his sins that he hath committed shall be mentioned unto him. He hath done that which is lawful and right. He shall surely live. Yet the children of thy people say, the way of Yahweh is not equal. But as for them, their way is not equal.
Our way is not equal. We're angry at the Creator because he gives an unrighteous man a second chance. Just because we won't give him a second chance.
When the righteous turneth from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, he shall even die thereby. But if the wicked turn from his wickedness and do that which is lawful and right, he shall live thereby. Yet ye say, the way of God is not equal. O ye house of Israel, I will judge you, everyone after his ways.
We're going to stop there. My time is up. I just wanted us to think about this day, this weekend,
Unity Shabbat can be a beautiful experience, and it really is not just to be a beautiful experience. We think it as as a homecoming, and really it's supposed to open up our eyes to see that we have more in common than we have differences, and we have to figure out a way. We have to figure out a way to allow the commonalities that we have to take precedence over the differences. The first thing we need to do, we gotta learn how to love each other. Yes. We gotta build friendships with each other so that even when we have a disagreement, it doesn't destroy the relationship. If we have respect for each other, if we have that type of love for each other, nothing's going to get in our way, because I know everybody in here got a Christian or Muslim or somebody in their family that's got a total different understanding than we have, and yet we love them, we hang out with them, we party with them, we cry with them, we enjoy life with them, and we get along fine. The same blood is running in all our veins. Amen. And so we have to figure out a way to keep the peace. Just keep the peace. Because the children don't have to inherit that. They don't have to inherit the differences that we have between each other, the grandfathers have. I pray that the Creator will bless all of you, will help us to mend our relationships, mend our family, mend our nation, and get us the hell out of here. Shabbat shalom.
Also give all the speakers a large round of applause who came up and spoke the word of the mighty Yah today. And we're closing out. We want to just make some quick acknowledgments as we close out. We want to give our brothers and sisters from Arkansas, that everybody can please be seated. And then we're going to bring the house down with one master song, a couple of songs, and we're going to let y'all, we're going to put y'all party's shoes on before y'all walk out that door. All right? And we're going to leave on the note of praising Yah. But in any event, for the family from Arkansas, please stand up, so we may acknowledge our family from Arkansas. Give them a round of applause. Hallelujah. Will our family from Elder Dawid from South Carolina, would you please rise, please, and please give the elder and the brother a big round of applause. Next, will our family from New York please rise, and would everybody please give them a big round of applause. Will our family from Baltimore in that area please rise, and please give them a large round of applause. Washington and Philadelphia. Did I miss any states? Sister Eliana from Philadelphia. Give her a large round of applause. Sister Schiffer, where is she at? Did she leave or she left? Let's give her a round of applause anyway. We talk bad about each other behind our back. Why can't we talk good behind each other's back? Hallelujah.
Galveston, Texas.
Did I miss anybody? Pittsburgh. Sister Sharon, she might be gone, but give her a round of applause. And we also, there she goes. Praise God, good to see you, sister. And Sister Deborah. Hallelujah. And our family from all the places in Cincinnati, give all of yourselves a round of applause. Our elders, our teachers, the children, our rappers. I'm sorry that we weren't able to get everybody up here.
But y'all don't know how tough it is to manage people going over time and me trying to tap them on the back and they still go over time anyway. That was a joke. No, that was fine. It was cool. But we got something out of it, and we had a very good session today, and we love all of you all. And now we're about to get our party on one more time. We're going to call up Sister Lena. Yeah. And she's going to... Okay. Brother Gabriel got a... Kentucky.
Voices of Zion, come on. One play.
Brother Kentucky.
Sakina. Oh, people do not. Yes, can you thank you, please? All right, anybody who wants to come on, let's sing. Where my Ema? Where's Sakina? Somebody said she outside.
What's Sarah?
Where is Elder Wesley? Elder Eliah left too?
No, Elder Eliah.
Come on now, that's the harmony right there. Where's Sister Gloria?
Right there.
Oh, okay. He got the harmony. Come around
And then one more announcement, please, before we party out the door. We want to make sure that everybody, now that Shabbat is over, please, if you have not paid your conference fees and the Shabbat was a block,
hard to work with Israel. You just gotta talk slow.
people were concerned to come up to it. And I also want to make another announcement that Mowreh IshYAH from Atlanta sent me a text. They wanted to let everybody know that they weren't able to make it, but they sent their love to everybody. So hallelujah.
I'm ready. Start it over. From the very beginning. Loud, please.